As temperatures rise, heavy rain returns to the forecast, and we're talking the threat of flooding in the coming days.
Freezing rain put the mountain passes on ice this weekend. The latest tonight on road conditions.
It looks like we got about an hour before we get to the front.
And still no relief at the airport for holiday travelers as cancellations and delays pile up for yet another day. Thanks for making KREM 2 News at 5 a part of your Monday. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark and Whitney are off tonight, and it is the day after Christmas, but the holiday travel headaches are not letting up across the nation. Take a look at some of the scenes around the nation. Severe winter weather led to thousands more cancellations nationwide, and Spokane Airport wasn't spared from the fallout of mass delays and cancellations as long lines and packed terminals stretched into yet another day. Flyers with canceled flights still not able to make it to their destination. And for many people, that meant not making it home for Christmas this year. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy is joining us now live from the airport tonight. And Shannon, you've been tracking this story since last week. What are the conditions at the airport like tonight?
Well, Cody, it is not good. At this point, I cannot even see the end of this line behind me, and this is just for Southwest. People have been waiting here for an hour plus. Again, long waits, long lines on this, one of the busiest travel days of the year. The Spokane International Airport was a bustle of goodbyes outside and in.
Oh, we were kind of shocked.
Shocked was the feeling greeting most passengers on the busy post-Christmas travel day.
You could see, the airlines and all the staff are working so hard to make everybody happy.
Many in this Southwest line waited upwards of an hour.
Well, we haven't been in line that long, probably 5-10 minutes or something, but it looks like we got about an hour before we get to the front.
I don't really like the long lines, and my flights, I don't know if my flight's officially canceled, but we're just trying to figure that out.
FlightAware reported 18 flight cancellations by mid-Monday, more than the day before. Bobette Moss had her Christmas Day plane ride grounded.
That was about 2.5 hours in line yesterday, and then today was shorter, it went faster.
Staff are still trying to rebook those who couldn't fly out over the weekend.
So I got in line this morning just before 10 a.m. and just got, now it's, I think around 12, yeah, and we just got a ticket for the 29th.
Some passengers still walked away without a ticket today, telling KREM 2 if it wasn't the weather, trouble getting flight crews together canceled their plans.
I figured if it took all day, then I'd be here all day.
And we are starting to see more of those delays and cancellations. FlightAware reports that as of 5 o'clock tonight, there have been 20 cancellations at Spokane and 33 delayed flights. At the Spokane Airport, Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you so much. And in the meantime, things much worse across the state at SeaTac Airport this evening. There have been over 125 total cancellations today, and right now 35 flights are delayed. This comes after a weekend full of cancellations. 700 flights were nixed on Friday because of the ice storm, with another 200 on Saturday. SeaTac and TSA brought on more staff to handle the crowds, but some of the biggest lines are for rebooking. We're hearing heartbreaking stories of people trying to get to family, and now, of course, people just trying to get home.
Made the best of it, but it clearly wasn't an ideal situation. And then this morning, about an hour and a half ago, I looked at my app on my phone and it said, hey, your flight's been canceled again.
She told me there's no weather delays, nothing's wrong, I just don't have a crew, and the nearest I can get out is probably the 28th or the 29th of December.
And it could take several days for airlines to get back on track after these mass cancellations. Flights not only impacted by winter weather, but staffing shortages, with flight crews stretched thin to accommodate for the thousands of cancellations. And the winter storm creating all of these cancellations has also claimed the lives of dozens across the country. CBS's Christiane Benavides has the latest on this powerful winter storm as it slams the East Coast.
The snow battering Buffalo, New York is showing no signs of letting up. Officials expect the area to get another 8 to 12 inches by Tuesday afternoon.
This is not helpful as we're trying to recover and clear off streets and get into areas that still have not had a plow.
That's on top of 3.5 feet that came down over the weekend, making most roads in the area impassable.
Cars everywhere, pointing the wrong direction on roads. They've basically been plowed in.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans experienced power outages at some point over the weekend, from Maine to Washington State.
It was cold.
This man and his family spent Christmas at a library-turned-warming shelter in Roanoke, Virginia.
This is a warm place, and it's for everybody. It's a lot better than our place right now.
The frigid temperatures also caused major disruptions across the South. Burst water pipes brought a wet Christmas for Georgia repair crews and led to a boil water advisory in parts of Mississippi.
Can't cook, we can't wash our dishes.
The weather is causing major trouble at airports nationwide. Thousands of flights have been either canceled or delayed Monday morning, according to FlightAware.
I understand everybody's frustrated. We can't control the weather.
That's in addition to the more than 9,000 flights that were canceled or delayed on Christmas Day. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Meanwhile, today was expected to be a busy day on the roads as people crossed the mountain passes returning from the holidays. Stevens Pass remained closed today. The Washington State Department of Transportation says the road's currently covered with a sheet of ice, but Snoqualmie still open tonight. So let's take a look at those current conditions on the pass tonight. Right now, according to WSDOT, traction tires are advised. Oversized vehicles are prohibited. They made their most recent update within the last 25 minutes. They've also been reporting bare and wet roadways with compact snow, slush, and ice in places, as well as areas of standing water. So keep that in mind if you are planning on heading over Snoqualmie. And of course, these conditions can change quickly up the mountain passes. WSDOT says to be sure to be prepared for delays if you plan on traveling over these next few days.
Things can change quick. Roads can open, they can reopen, so to continue to monitor and make sure people are planning ahead before they get in the car.
You can keep track of all road conditions on the WSDOT website or by downloading the WSDOT app. Warming up in the Spokane area this week, roads are wet and slushy, especially in neighborhoods, and with more rain in the forecast. Spokane road crews are now changing tactics to deal with flooding. Let's take a live look right now at the roads at this hour. This is at the bottom of the South Hill at 6th Avenue in Washington. You can see roads are pretty wet right at this hour. Street department crews continue to focus on main arterials, hills, and responding to problem areas with sand and de-icing. Now crews are concerned with melting snow and delayed leaf drops, creating challenges for runoff to enter the stormwater collection systems. Crews will work to clear as many drains as they can, but with over 12,000 across the city, they won't be able to reach each one. And here's what you can do to help drain water from the roads. Take a look at your screen right now. Residents can help minimize pooling water by clearing away snow and debris from nearby storm drains. If you don't know where the closest storm drain is to your house, you can use the map Spokane on the city's website to find out. If you end up seeing a flooded intersection or street within the city, don't drive through it. Your vehicle could actually stall. Instead, call 509-625-7900 to report it. And speaking of the warmer weather, let's head over right now to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo in the KREM 2 Weather Center tonight for a look at a very wet and very rainy forecast.
All right, let's just start out by saying there's not enough time in the day to get to all of that is going on in the weather. So KREM.com, I am literally going to hit publish on an article probably 30 seconds after this. It'll be the full forecast discussion, and I'll talk everything from this. So let's get started to what we're going to end with. Winter weather advisories and ice storm warnings remain in effect through tonight. We are still seeing some ice come down in places where temperatures are down below freezing. That includes South Central and Central Washington. Eastern Washington and North Idaho, it's all rain for us. But you can see the pink still on the radar. Moses Lake, Ellensburg, Yakima, down through Kennewick, still falling. Richland, you're in that as well. Pasco in it too. So that continues for a little while longer. We'll see rain grow more widespread as temperatures continue to rise. We have a warm front moving through overnight, and that will bring a lot of rain to much of the region. Rain continues to fall through tomorrow, heavy at times, and then eventually becomes more on and off through the second half of the day. And by tomorrow night, we'll start to see snow mixing in parts of eastern Washington and North Idaho. Snow becomes more widespread as we get into the cold sector of our next storm. By Wednesday, it is going to be a bit more snow, but get this, through Wednesday, we're talking about the better part of an inch of rain and snow equivalent. That means flooding is likely going to be a concern. Flood advisories are in place for much of Spokane County, Kootenai County, down through St. Mary's and into the Palouse. It is likely those will remain the case through Wednesday. Now, on top of that, we will also see some very strong wind gusts. Wind gusting at 45 to 55 miles per hour has prompted wind advisories for central Washington, eastern Washington, and parts of North Idaho for Tuesday evening and Wednesday morning. This is an incredibly active weather pattern, and this only takes us through Wednesday. We'll talk all of this and more the second half of the week coming up in your full forecast. But for all this information, it exists on KREM.com.
Jeremy, thank you so much. In Pierce County, sheriff deputies say 4 substations were attacked on Christmas Day, cutting the power to thousands of people. A metal fence cut and blue flames coming out of a substation on Compowson Highway East. That knocked out power to 3,000 customers. It's just one of 4 Tacoma power substations broken into, according to Pierce County Sheriff's Department. Earlier on Christmas morning, 3 substations were attacked at East Pierce County. That cut power to 7,300 customers. Nothing was stolen in the break-ins, but police are hesitant to call it domestic terrorism because they don't have a suspect. The community is left wondering why someone would do this on Christmas Day.
Just not sure why anybody would want to do that to other people on a day when, we're here to celebrate with our families and be together and, have that downtime, especially through the last couple years where things have been really hard for everybody.
Pierce County deputies confirmed they're checking into any possible links between these attacks and those that happened recently at other substations in both Washington and Oregon. The price at the pump continues to fall. Gas prices in the Spokane area have come down 11 cents in the past week. For the last week of the year, Spokane's average gas price per gallon is $3.57. Meanwhile, the national gas price has fallen nearly 5 cents in the last week. This marks the 7th straight week of decline. It's a step in the right direction, but experts warn that recent cold weather interrupting refining operations in the south and curbing gasoline production could cause prices to spike again.